So that now we understand a little bit about human design, about ourselves. We're going to put our lenses back to your workplace. Our next speaker's specialty is actually on psychological safety at work. I think Heather alluded to that, right? And when people feel safe, they contribute more. So our next speaker, she's an expert in psychological safety. She's the creator of the S.A.F.E model. It's a very practical framework that helps leaders spot fear, reward candor, and build culture where people speak up, not just freely but confidently. We have a lot of experience as a leadership coach and background in healthcare and tech. She proves that psychological safety isn't soft, it's actually strategic. How exactly do we make our environment safe enough so that we can talk and be constructive and not just complain? Our next speaker is going to help us solve that problem. So can we give a big hand to welcome Mimi Pham?
Thank you. Gotta get them.
Sorry.
So when I looked at my notes this morning, thinking how to open this talk, no. So when I opened my notes this morning, when I was thinking how to open this talk, I thought the most important question in the room isn't in my notes. It's in this room. So let's start there. What's one of the biggest risks, hidden risks in your organization today, that if it blew up, it would hit your bottom line the hardest this year? That hesitation, that's your profits draining away. I'm here to share with you an idea that psychologically safe teams speak and silent teams sink. I'm going to share with you an experience because I've lived this firsthand. In a big head freeze count of a top biotechnology company, the mantra everywhere was do more with less. Yet all around me, all the talent was restless, disengaged, burnt out, but most of all, they were afraid. Afraid to speak up, to flag risks, afraid to share bold ideas, afraid to lose it all. And this silence wasn't just bad for morale, it was hitting the bottom line. So I'm on a mission to help organizations like yours to cultivate the culture where every voice matters and where silence is not a tax, but it's a choice. Because I believe in your organizations, your most biggest asset, untapped asset, is the courage of your people. So, how much do you think your silence in your teams is costing you? Top consultancy company McKinsey has said that silence in cultures leak approximately 27% on average per employee. In a 100-person company, that's 14 million Hong Kong dollars per year. So what's the core problem here? Silent teams in a VUCA world where things are volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, 2025 and the future, fixing silent teams is not a would be nice. It's existential. So my question is, why do silent teams exist? My opinion is outdated leadership types. These two leadership types, heroic the one that swoops in with all the answers, leaving no oxygen for teams to collaborate and share and contribute. The ghost leader, mostly absent, but appears when crisis strikes. They do seem a little bit opposite, but actually, with fear and silence, they actually share a common side. They enforce fear and silence. So, as I shared, in a world where VUCA, where change and volatility is the mainstay, we need another way. And that's why I believe silent teams sink. So by the end of today, I hope that you're going to, but you will have, by the end of today, your teams, your organizations will have, oh my God, sorry. You'll learn the 3 questions, the 3 leadership moves that will unlock silent teams. The results, number 1, increase impact to breakthrough speed. 2, have trust-based authority. 3, you will turn your presenteeism and burnout into high-performing teams. So let me share with you a story. This is in the world of healthcare, and I want to share with you, this is real stakes with real ghost leadership. The year was 2001. Wayne was an 18-year-old leukemia patient who was late for his appointment at a busy UK hospital. There was a pharmacist, a junior doctor, and at top of the hierarchy, a consultant on edge. In the pharmacy, he rushed the pharmacist to get the medicine ready. We can't afford any more delays. She forgoed her vital checks because of fear. Meanwhile, in the ward, the consultant hands the vial to the junior doctor and says, "Inject this into Wayne's spine, please." His voice small, hesitant, saying, "Into the spine? Are you sure?" The consultant dismissed the question. The junior doctor thought, "Oh, it's too risky to challenge the boss." Within 10 minutes, they both realized their grave mistake. Wayne would not survive the error. The silence in this team silenced the pharmacist's training. It overrode junior doctor's doubt. And this is how powerful the cost of silence is. Be it the boardroom or the hospital, the mechanism is the same. So I want to ask you, have you ever had a hesitation, a question on your mind, but stayed silent? Me too. So the silence here is the poison. But maybe right now it's a good time to define what exactly is psychological safety. Psychological safety is the belief that you won't be judged, ridiculed, embarrassed for raising or asking questions. What it's not is endless debate. What it's also not is everyone just getting along with each other all the time. But one thing it is it's the antidote to the silence taps. And who cultivates this? I want to introduce to you the catalyst leader. This is the most sought after leadership type in the VUCA world 2025 and beyond. But why? Because they activate voice. They catalyze courage from their people and they empower them to unlock discretionary effort. So now we've understood the catalyst leader in theory. I want to share with you this story in practice. This is my personal story. Not long ago, as a patient safety lead of a top biotechnology company, my task was clear. I had to assess a $200 million real world cancer study project in Hong Kong. And I identified a risk quite early on, but I hesitated. Why did I hesitate? Because I'd been judged before. I was called opinionated, conservative. So I turned to my mentor, my incredible catalyst leader. She said to me, Nui, are you waiting for the right environment to speak up? It may never happen. You be the change that you seek. You might not, it might not create the ripple, the immediate ripple that you look for, but it might create the next wave for the next change maker. That really stuck with me. So by studying leaders like the catalyst leader, I developed my own ASK profit engine. But before that, the foundations is that this really helped me as a pharmacist learning formulas to understand the complex world of psychological safety. I was really glad to stumble across Timothy R. Clark, a leader in psychological safety, equation, and then I adapted it to my own. What's the formula? Yes. This is how we cultivate a climate of high psychological safety in teams. We need to increase the intellectual friction within your teams for friendly debate, unleashing bold ideas that will be your team's next breakthrough. 2, decrease social friction. Clashing egos, you protect your team against groupthink, ensuring that everyone knows it's safe to speak up. That is what a catalyst leader does. High-performing teams. The original equation was high-performing teams, but I shared with you before that equals 20%, 27% of your potential profits regained. So who's ready to dive into the 3 questions, the 3 catalytic questions that's going to give your organization fearless, high-performing teams? Number 1, assess the hidden risk. Don't know if you guys know this, but my first opening question was this one. So open your scope and see what kind of question. The core question for this is, what hidden risk are we not seeing that we wish would go away? That's what you ask your teams. What does this do? It unlocks radical candor, transparency, because what you don't know will hurt you. 2, speed of truth telling. So get your team to think amplified dissent. Anytime that someone disagrees, intellectual conversation, great. What's the core question here? Sorry, mental blank. What's the core question here? Sorry, back. So let me just go to kickstart innovation first. So to kickstart innovation, the core question here is, if mistakes weren't punished, if failure wasn't going to be judged or punishable, what bold idea that can develop a business would you be able to share? Make that part of your one-to-ones with your people, because this unlocks discretionary effort. Sorry, I just remember now, speed of truth telling. What's the core question there? What can I do as a catalyst leader to make it easier for you to share bad news to me? This unlocks fearless feedback loops. So now you understand the ASK profit engine. I hope it will benefit you all. But before I close for today, I want to leave you with a feeling of what it's like to get a breakthrough.
This Japanese climber absolutely humiliated the world's best athletes at the 2023 women's final inverted. The crux of the problem required climbers to stick a paddle dyno at the beginning, then kick back and swing left to reach the top, while balancing on a deceptive dual text volume that offered almost no grip. The real challenge, however, was to cross this particular section, but because of the wall's steep angle, climbers couldn't control their swing and peeled off one after another. Not even elite climbers like Janja Garnbret or Florian Bertone came close to securing the top. But then came Miho Nonaka of Japan, with a move that left the crowd stunned. She sticks the paddle dyno with a clever toe hook, a move nobody else even considered. Then she locks her heel high up on the volume to get a better grip on this left hold. Then swiftly kicks back with her left leg to create a huge swing to reach the top.
Big swing, holds it with a 25. And heading the hand to it. Wow.
A moment of pure genius and creativity that separated her from the rest.
Who wants that to be their next breakthrough? So the thing here is it looks like a lone act of genius, doesn't it? But in reality, the key message I want to share with you that this was often due to a long chain of events, and this was just the final step. So she had a team behind her, a coach that might have sparked an idea. That the idea was shaped, refined by her team. And she was able to fearlessly experiment, fail, and even potentially fail spectacularly. And I wish that for your teams. So as Timothy R. Clark says, innovation is a process of connected people connecting ideas. So you guys go off and unlock that for your teams. Thank you.
How do you feel?
Good, very
Thank you a
good.
big round of applause. It's the very first time. As I said, all of them are not professional speakers. They don't talk as much as I do, but they really know what they're doing. So
Thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time to
you.
be with us, okay?
Thank
thanks
you.
to again. It's good teamwork. Maybe it's the same for us as well. Yeah, last time.